cannot control every single situation you put yourself in. That's just what that means. Everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today, because today we're going to talk about the trash jar. That's something that has been on my mind for quite some time. I have mentioned it a couple of times on this channel briefly, but I don't think I've made an actual dedicated video to this subject. So I thought that would be cool, because there are pros and cons, and it has become, with the zero waste movement growing bigger and bigger, which I obviously think is a-okay. But with the movement growing, there's a lot of media representation, and this symbol, the trash jar, has become sort of a symbol of the zero waste movement, of the low impact movement, and therefore I think it's quite important to talk about what it actually means. So I'll just start by talking about how I'm zero waste and my zero waste journey, and I feel like half my videos start with me talking about my journey into zero waste, but anyway, here goes. About 4 years ago I made a 1-month experiment where I wanted to make zero trash, and that process was very fulfilling. I really loved it, so I just kept doing it, and that's 4 years ago. Now I'm here and it's my job, and it's great. I do lectures and workshops about zero waste, and I just use my social media platforms to spread the message even further. But I have never in my life used a trash jar, and I want to talk to you about why. So let's talk about what the trash jar is, if you're completely new to zero waste, and if you are, hello! The trash jar is something that especially influencers use in order to draw attention to their lifestyle. And the trash jar contains, it's usually a mason jar, and it contains the amount of trash that has been produced by this person over a specific period of time. And sometimes it's months, but the really big ones, the ones that get the most exposure, are usually years. And I think it's a really great way to draw attention towards the movement, and it was actually one of the things that made me interested in zero waste, because I had never before thought about trash as something you would parade or display or exhibit. It was something that when I threw something in the bin, my ownership of this product ceased to exist, and whenever I threw something in the bin, it was not mine anymore, and it didn't really matter. And having it displayed is a really powerful statement, and for that reason I really love that that symbol has become a symbol of zero waste, because it forces people to reflect upon how we think about trash, and the ownership of trash shifts in zero waste and with the display of the trash jar. Yep. Just choking in my own, just you feel. So I really appreciate the effect of the trash jar, but I also think there are some disadvantages to it, and one of which is the fact that it is extremely unrealistic, especially if you're just getting started in the movement, especially if you believe or if you have an impression that if you're not doing it this way, the way that is paraded and exhibited, then you're doing it wrong. And personally, I have very little trust in the trash jar, because it is an object of exhibition. It is not necessarily a practice. I would not be able to show you guys all the trash I made in the last 2 years, because I don't have a trash jar. And one of the reasons for that is that I have very little trust in the trash jar, and I think sometimes it can become an unattainable standard or an unattainable utopian symbol. And I'm not just responsible for my own trash, and none of us are just responsible for our own trash. I see it this way: when I invite people into my home and they bring something in plastic, either food or a gift or anything, and they leave the trash there, which is a common practice, then that trash would end up in my bin. And if they brought it home with them, it would end up in their bin, but it's trash nonetheless. And therefore there's a lot of trash that wouldn't be able to fit in my trash jar because there is too great an amount. But that does not mean that you are a bad zero waster or that you are a bad environmentalist in general. It just means that you cannot control every single situation you put yourself in. That's just what that means. And I think sometimes the trash jar can symbolize this completely unattainable ideal that is just unrealistic. I sometimes like to refer to the trash jar as the skinny supermodel of zero waste, because she's not real. The trash jar is a great way of drawing attention towards the zero waste movement, and it's an amazing way of getting people to talk about how we perceive trash as a general category of objects. But it's not a very healthy way of living your life, because the trash just sort of assumes that you are able to control every situation you put yourself in, or you are put in by other people, which is not the case. Obviously, I wouldn't critique anyone for using the trash jar in order to draw attention towards the zero waste movement, because I am okay with that. It is my job. I would love people to be interested. But I also think it has the potential of dividing people even further, because some people will see this trash jar. People need to stop texting me right now. People will see this trash jar and think, oh, I cannot possibly do that. I might as well not even try. That obviously seems like a really bad mindset to have, but the truth is that people have this mindset unconsciously all the time. And I have it sometimes as well, that I need to really dissect what I'm doing and think, why am I doing this? So that's why on my platform there are no zero waste trash jar, because firstly, that's unrealistic and that's not what we're going for. I would much rather see 1 million people try to be zero waste and fail a little bit than 2 people doing it perfectly. I mean, that should be the standard, and although I think it's a great symbol that really draws attention towards the wider mainstream public, which it has done, I mean, as we can see. But I also think that it's okay to say that's not what I'm doing, and I think there's some disadvantages to this symbol as well. And that is just my tea. I am here again, hello, time out. I just packed everything down and then I thought about another point that I just really wanted to make, and that is the fact that the trash jar also really focuses primarily, I would even say exclusively, on the physical trash that we produce every day. However, trash is so much more than that, and waste is so much more than that. I think that an environmentalist lifestyle, a zero waste, low impact, low waste lifestyle is so much more than the trash that you can see. And Emmy from Sustainable Vegan made a really good point about the physical trash and all the trash that is behind the scenes, which is something that's really important to remember. Because if you buy fast fashion, there will only be like a tiny little price tag, and that would be the trash. If you go with your own container to a butcher shop and you get your meat, that would be zero waste. And if you fly with a digital ticket on your phone, that would also technically be zero waste. But we know that these processes and these actions are extremely impactful and extremely harmful to the environment. So there's just so much more than the physical trash we can see in a jar, and it's so much more complex than that. That was just another point I would like to make, and now peace out. Wow. Okay, so I hope that this made any sort of sense. I enjoy a cute little, just very short chat about stuff like this. But I would love to know what you think about the trash jar. Is it something that you do? Is it something you're supportive of? Or is it something that you maybe think divides the movement more than it actually unites us? And just leave a comment down below and let me know. And also, if you have any videos that you would like to see on this channel, please let me know, because I am always open to ideas. And yeah, have a great day. Bye. Oh, that was so lame. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste contents, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!